What is something NSFW you've done but if you told anyone they would probably never want to talk to you again? When I was a kid I had this cork board thing that hung above my bed by a string over a nail in the wall. I had been collecting racy pictures from magazines for a while before I realized the cork board is double-sided and, in a moment of genius, decided that I would simply pin the pictures to the back of the cork board facing the wall. When I wanted to do the deed I could just flip it around, super convenient. One day I was laying in bed reading comics and my mom burst in to tell me to clean my damn room, but the sudden opening of the door caused the nail to pop out and the corkboard fell and hit me straight in the face, then flopped over porno side up. My mom took one look, said, "Jesus Christ," and just shut the door. I had an orgasm while running away from an angry chihuahua when I was 8 years old. No ejaculating, just the sensation. I spent the rest of that summer trying to get that chihuahua to chase me. I had to laugh so hard that I peed in an elevator because I couldn't hold my laughter. There was a stranger with me going 20 floors up. The entire elevator was full of piss. I was 12. I wanked on a rooftop with a thrill that someone might come upstairs. Luckily no one came. But I was caught on CCTV. When you say no one came, not even you? At 16 I stole a fleshlight from a local sex store and then drove off not being able to wait to use it. I used it while driving and finished, but post-nut clarity set in. I threw it out the window into what I thought was some woods, but I looked last second to have an image burned into my mind. The image of a used fleshlight exploding onto a gravestone from a cemetery at 45 miles per hour. Reality set in then. I cut a hole in my mattress when I was a kid and tried to duck it. Hit the bedsprings on the first stroke. My dick just curled up back into my body upon reading that. I let out a very not manly yelp as mine retreated. Not me, but my ex-GF shoved a curling iron up her cooch and didn't clean it. Ever. She told me her sister used it the next day. Glad I broke up with her, I should have seen the signs. Had an ex-boyfriend who liked it when I used my Minnesotan accent in bed, did it a few times and now the thought of it makes me shudder. Ufta, there's the spot, dearie. This is the biggest cock I've ever felt on a scotty, don't check no. You do need to hurry up and finish though. Oh yeah, top my tater. Top. My. Tater. When I was 15 and heavily addicted to WoW, I was like 8 hours into this 14 hours marathon and thought duck it. Made a female neigh, stripped down somewhere in the starting area, made her dance, and jerked it. Never told a ducking soul that one before. Over the last year, I've gone from being like almost 300 pounds and miserable to 150 pounds and fit as duck. My parents, co-workers, and doctor are all like, "Wow, this is so amazing, I'm proud of you. How did you do it?" Most people can't do that without WLS. And I just laugh and say, "Oh, calorie deficit," which I mean is true, but not the whole story. What happened was I had a bad binge eating disorder I was in denial about, and that's what stopped any attempts dead in their tracks. Last year on a 3-day weekend I came home and decided, I got 3 days off, time to fly, and proceeded to take 5 tabs of LSD. Then it swung hard into the bad trip territory and I felt like I was going to just straight up die while watching the carpet bubble. Then after the trip, I realized whatever was in my brain that made me get dopamine rushes from food and crave food while stressed and depressed just was deleted. Gone. Poof. So I just ran with it. Like only 3 people know what happened. It's not like an awful secret, but I'm not going to tell my parents or coworkers like, "Yeah, I got lit the duck up on LSD and accidentally cured my eating disorder. I dunno man, I don't make the rules." Edit. Jesus Christmas, I checked this on my way home from work and it was like 2 replies. Then I get home and I'm about to work out and look and see 168 updates, lol. Another edit. Yeah, I know this isn't NSFW in a sense, but it's not something that's a thing here. I live in a really small rural town in the Midwest and work at a machine shop. I'm sure any type of admitted drug use would be frowned upon, lol. Even though yeah, it's in my own time. I'm also sometimes hesitant to tell people because it was an intense trip. I'm like a high-dose veteran. I would regularly do 3 to 4.5 tab trips, and I handled it fine. That one grabbed me by the throat and threw me down the rabbit hole. It was not for the faint of heart, lol. But it's crazy to think about what we have access to and don't even know it. I paid for WinRAR back in 2006. That there is a lot to unpack. I ducked a homeless dude in an alley behind a nightclub right after high school graduation because I thought he was the lead singer of Sister Hazel. I had a 1.5 year long relationship with my best friend's mother. We've never told anyone. Yes, that's one to take to the grave. Yeah, I'll never tell. Your eyes might have given you away when your friend called you a mother ducker. Either the act itself or this comment will eventually come back to bite me in the ass. But it's been 15+ years, so duck it. Smacking the shit out of an asshole child, fellow camper during summer camp. The kid was being an absolute terror to everyone, screaming, crying at night, destroying things, etc., etc. It was clear the parents coddled him, treated him like their little perfect prince, and never disciplined him. They also called the camp multiple times a day to speak to him, which was against the rules. The kid needed a swift kick in the ass and to finally be told, no. No one dared touch the kid, for obvious reasons, but one day he went too far and I'd had enough. I was a junior counselor in training at the time and was supervising the archery course. The kid was terrible at it and was getting irate that other kids were hitting the target and he wasn't. So he took an arrow and began hitting the kid next to him with it. I snatched the arrow from him and he immediately let out a blood-curdling scream like a banshee that just wouldn't end. So I smacked him upside his head and told him to STFU. By some miracle, it worked on the spot. The kid was practically an angel the rest of the week. It was like I knocked some sense into him. I tried to suck my dick, which gave me a hernia that still is painful sometimes even 30 years later. Moral. When young, stretch every day. Edit. I did succeed, but I did not swallow. That was one bridge too far. So since I did not dare to climax, I stopped doing it. It did not feel like sucking a dick at all, but felt like getting it sucked 100%. I got the hernia surgically fixed. Still, the metal plate is annoying sometimes, but nothing that bad. This isn't bad at all, but I feel bad. I've told every girl I ever slept with that I was a virgin. I found out early that girls seem to think it's awesome to take a dude's virginity, and it usually sealed the deal. So there are like 13 girls out there in the world who all took my virginity. My man, putting the con in conquest. I put the peanut butter knife into the jelly jar without cleaning it. Straight to hell. Straight to the boiler room of hell.
Like and subscribe for more ducking content.